Welcome to the Reef Keeping Secrets Podcast, hosted by Shane Backer at SBB Corals. Listen and learn as we dive deep into the reef keeping industry, interviewing top reef keepers from around the world, from business to hobby. Join us on our journey.
There he is.
Hey guys, hello. Hi fellow reefers.
Hey, Rocky, how are you?
I'm good. I was actually fixing the audio because I couldn't hear you, so I decided to just use my earbuds. So it's fine now. I don't know what's going on, but it's all good.
No worries. All right. Yeah, no, I was wondering. So I don't really know what it looks like. Like when I send you the invite on your side, like does
hmm
it just like pop up? Like
Y-
what does that even look like?
Yeah, it popped up.
Popped up.
But I think the
Awesome.
first time you invited me, I wasn't in front of the screen. I was looking for my earpods.
Awesome, awesome.
but
Yeah, I
but
see we have like
can you hear me fine?
yeah, you're loud and clear.
Okay. All right, great. So how's it going? How's SBB Corals?
It's good, man. It's good. It's a never-ending journey. Trying to meet more people and obviously get the word out there in the industry, which is, one of the big reasons why we wanted to kind of get you on here and talk to
Mhm.
you and, really just ask you some questions and stuff.
Random questions, huh? Well, I have to say though that you sent me the frags, and I have to say that you have the one of the healthiest frags I've gotten, and they're very healthy. Like you get the bags from the box, and then you already see the polyp extension, and for me that's a very good sign that you have a very healthy system.
Wow. Yeah, that means a lot, man. I got the
Yeah.
hairs on my arms are standing up. I mean, that's awesome.
It's
Yeah,
true. It's true.
no, I wanted to actually, hey, we'll just jump right into it then, because that's one thing I wanted to ask you about. I
Mhm.
know obviously I was listening to Reef Bum and, I was seeing your stuff on Instagram, little things pop up here and there. And, I said, oh, this, on Reef Bum, I saw that he had you on. And one thing that you had mentioned is that you really wanted to try the Speciosa. So I said, you know what, let me send you
Yeah.
some. And
Yeah.
those things are so finicky. I mean, even for us, they're just like ticking time bombs. But
Mhm.
one thing that I'd
Mhm.
be interested in hearing about, because I know that you don't do any water changes. I know that obviously you do the Reef Moonshiners method, and I kind of feel like those type of corals do better in a system with very little changes. So how are those still alive for you?
Oh yeah, they're still alive. I think they're growing. I don't know. I have to compare the video that I posted the reel to today to see, but I think they're bigger. I think so. Yeah, they're still alive, thankfully.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, even if you could just keep those alive in my book, like even if they don't grow, if they just keep alive, then I
Right.
know that, obviously you're doing something really good there. So do you think it's because of the reef, like the no water changes? Like what do you think?
I don't think so, but in general, it's been working for me. I've been doing no water change for more than 2 years now. And yeah, it's true that, without doing water change, it's more stable, just by dosing. But you have to know what you're dosing, and you have to test before you dose to make sure everything is, stable. But yeah, it's been working for me, so no complaints. And plus, I hate water changes. I mean, who loves water change?
I think nobody. I think what are you up to now? Like you have four separate systems, or are they all looped into one? How is it all that like?
I have 5 tanks now. I have 4 small tanks. And, and no, they're not plumbed in to the big system. I hope so. I mean, I wish they're plumbed in, but they're not. So what I do is I don't dose anything into all of my other tanks, to all 4 other small tanks. What I do is I do water exchange. I call it water exchange, and not it's not water change. So what that means is I take out the water from the small tank, put it in the big tank, and then take some water from my big tank to replace what I took from the small tank. So it's called water exchange. By doing that, I don't make new water.
Gotcha. And I see that some people are asking questions. So I just want to let everyone know what the quick format is here so everyone has an idea. So we're going to talk for about 45 minutes. I mean, we're going to get a lot of information in 45 minutes. And then at the very end, we'll open it up, to like 10 or 15 minutes worth of questions. For everybody who is on right now, you definitely do want to stay on for the full hour, because at the end of this just talk, we're going to give out two prizes, if you will. We're going to give out one $150 SBB gift card, which you have to be here at the end. And then Rocky, if you want to maybe tell us what one of your sponsors is also going to be providing.
Yes, we're also giving away the Simplicity coral dipping container for a lucky winner. Yeah, but
awesome. So
you just got to make sure that you're following the Simplicity Aquatics Instagram account.
Okay, so yeah, in order to win the coral dip container, you have to be following Simplicity Aquatics. So if you're not following them on Instagram, you probably want to do that now, just because if you win, we will be taking a screenshot of you and to see if you are following them. So you'll want to go ahead and do that. All right, so with that said, yeah, let's just jump right into it. I know we were talking about the fact that you don't do water changes, and you were basically talking, I was asking you about your 5 systems, and I think what you were saying is that you do like 50% water change, right, on the smaller systems with the bigger water?
Yes, at least 50% since I'm not dosing anything. So what I notice is I have to do it at least twice a week for them to actually thrive. If not, they will tell me that I missed the water change.
So do you actually keep like parameters in those tanks, or they're okay just because you're taking water from the bigger tanks?
Yeah, I just trust my big tank. I don't test my small tanks. I just test my big tank, and I just get a word from my big tank because I know it's okay. And yeah, that's what I do.
Awesome. Yeah, you know what? It's funny because I actually preach that people do that. Like I always tell people that they should get like a separate quarantine system for all incoming stuff. And what I usually tell them to do is to just get like a BioCube. It's an all-in-one aquarium, and then like every week or twice a week actually do water changes from their larger system into the smaller 30-gallon BioCube to keep that quarantine. They won't have to take any parameters. They won't have to check anything. It just makes it super simple. So once you do that, I mean, how many gallons per week would you say are you topping off from the big system to the smaller ones?
Oh, I would probably say, so I have 4 small tanks. The anemone tank, probably like 5 gallon every water change, or 4 to 5. So I would say 10 gallons for the anemone tank, and then the small tank probably like 2 gallons per week. So I would probably say like 20 gallons.
20 gallons a week. So essentially then you are doing a 20-gallon water change on the big system, right, to get that water to the smaller systems?
No, because I get the water from the small tanks into the big tank.
Oh, so you're just basically swapping one water for the other.
Yeah, I call it water exchange, not water change. Yeah.
Oh, okay, because I was listening to your other 2 interviews, and you said water exchange, and I was like, wait a second, but he's just taking water from the main tank. Oh, so you're literally doing no water changes. You're
No
just
water
changing.
change. Yeah, I'm not making new water. I'm just swapping them.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. So I guess when you dose the reef moonshiners to the main system, the nutrients from that then go to the smaller systems, and then okay.
Correct. Yeah.
Wow. Man, so really no water changes for 2 years?
No water change.
Wow.
But
And so
I keep salt, of course. I keep salt just in case, because of course if you buy corals, if you get corals or you sell corals, you take water out. So, you gotta put some new water, salt water.
So you do some water changes.
A little bit.
So do you actually sell corals too? I mean, I'm sure you go to frag swaps and you bring stuff around, but do you actually sell corals as well?
To be honest with you, I haven't been to a frag swap. And I'm not actively selling, but if for example, I go on a vacation or I need to buy something expensive, that's when I sell to use the money. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because I always try to tell people, they say that the reefing industry is so expensive. I'm like, yeah, the initial investment is, but
Mhm.
once your stuff is growing, you could definitely sell it to at least, pay for the hobby, or if not, have like a nice little side hustle, to make some
Yes.
extra money
Yeah,
there.
definitely.
So that's awesome. Yeah, I didn't really wow. So no water changes. And like in terms of your methodology, I mean, do you feel like it just makes things more stable, or do you like to control like all the macro parameters, with the reef moonshiners? Like what's your methodology on that?
Yeah, it is definitely more stable by not doing water change. But you can also, um, have a water stability by doing water changes. You just have to know and familiarize the salt that you're using. But with what I'm doing is, since I'm dosing individual elements, I know exactly what I put because I also send ICP tests. Um, so what I did was I get the average of all the ICP test results that I got from the past months, and I get the average, and that's how I know what or how much to dose.
Wow, yeah, no, that totally makes sense. I mean, I know I tried reef moonshiners. I mean, Andre sent me a bunch of stuff to
Mhm,
try.
mhm,
I mean, we're big advocate on water
mhm,
changes. I mean, we have four systems. I think we have
mhm.
over 1,500 or 2,000 gallons. I mean, but so we're water changing like crazy. I
Yeah.
mean, we're constantly dipping our corals, so we take water out for that. I mean, we have to do water changes. We sell so much, we have to do
Mhm.
water changes there.
Right.
Um, the one thing that I think a lot of newer hobbyists don't realize is that, they buy like these all-in-one like dose, like,
Mhm,
like not to say like Red Sea ABCD, but they get that and they
mhm.
think they're doing a great job. But what it is they end up overdosing something and then it ends up crashing their tank.
Yeah.
So I do think like at least if anyone who's joining this call, if you're not on moonshiners, you should definitely get a hold of their material to try to learn about each element and so you don't overdose something. I mean that I did that. I crashed my tank like that and it was disaster.
Yep.
So that's yeah, still though, that's crazy though. No water changes. I mean that's awesome. I mean it's probably a lot less work too for you, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, that's all. And your corals look amazing. I mean, I see your videos on Instagram. I mean, they're really just incredible. And I have to ask. I mean, I think right now you have like over 30,000 followers, right, on Instagram.
Yeah, around 30K.
How long? I mean, just for, I know people are always interested in hobbyists, obviously want to grow their following and they want to get bigger Instagram followers. I mean, we
Mhm.
do too. I mean, that's a big push right now that we're going for. Like, how long has your
Mhm.
Instagram account been open for?
I think I started like 2 years ago. It only started to actually grow, my channel to grow like the past year. And the first year was low, but it just kind of like grow this, past year. So yeah, I have it for 2 years now.
And is that like that's all, I assume that's all like natural, organic. Like you're not buying
No,
followers, right? Like,
yeah, I'm very proud to say that I haven't bought any follower. So
so how did
every time I get like 30,000 or 31, like every thousand, additional thousand, I'm like very happy because I know that I work hard for it and I never buy followers. So
so like I don't know if you could just maybe take us through like that journey, right? Like you first started
Mhm.
your account and you got nobody, and then all of a sudden you're at like I think last year I heard. I mean, I saw your other interview. You said that you had like 18,000, and now you've grown like 14 or 15,000 in the last 12 months. Like, how does somebody
Mhm.
do that? Like, how do you like what
So
are the keys to
mhm.
that?
So when I started, of course, I don't have, this system with a lot of corals. Everything was frags and it wasn't full. So when I started, and this is also my advice to new reefers that also want to, build Instagram or, have an Instagram account, is to just take macro shots of your corals because the macro shots are great. You know, by posting macro shots, you're actually, you know, um, getting followers. Because if you this I don't want to like say that if that it's ugly, your tank is ugly when it's not full. But of course, when you're new, your tank is, just frags, not a lot of corals. You can see a lot of rocks. I don't think you'll get a lot of followers by just posting, a full tank shot without a lot of corals. So my advice is, if you're new on Instagram and if you're a new reefer, just take macro shots. Start from there, and you know, and I'm sure you'll get a lot of followers. So
And like,
that's what I did. That's what I did. I took a lot of macro shots, and then until like, my corals are growing, and that's when I started taking pictures of the whole tank.
so like, are you putting like hashtags after your comments, or is it literally like you're just posting and people are liking it and talking about it and just following you that way?
Definitely put a lot of hashtags, and also, engage with other reefers, especially with new reefers too that has little followers. That's what I did before. So, engage with them, follow them back, and then, you know, do some maybe giveaways there, and, then and there, and, you know, take some pictures of the products that you use, and then tag the companies, and then eventually they will repost it, and from there you get your followers too.
So like, I mean, like, do you think that like you've hit, and I'm always wondering this question for myself, like what's the limit, right? Like I know, like, Polar Reef now has like 120,000. I think Worldwide Coral has 100,000. Like, but then you have, I don't know his name. Like, I think his name is 12G on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah.
He's got like 1.2 million, right? So I'm always wondering, like, what's the limit? So like, are you growing now like rapidly? Like, how many followers do you get per day? Like, do you track that? Do you see like it's increasing every day? Like, what are you seeing there?
I used to track it, but it's not consistent. So I stopped tracking it, but I used to. Probably I would like get like at least 20 a day, but it's not consistent. And also you get unfollowers too.
I think you're getting more than 20 a day, because I think I did the math
Oh yeah.
myself. And if I wanted
I
12, yeah, if I wanted 12,000 followers in a year, I would have to get 30 a day every single day consistently. So I know you're definitely getting like probably 30 or 40 per day.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, I stopped tracking because you get tired, and it's time consuming to just, sit there and watch your followers, but I see them.
Yeah, no, it could definitely be like a full-time job. And I think, another thing I wanted to ask you about, and I do think like other hobbyists, are aspiring, right, to get an Instagram account, to get a bunch of followers, and, to get sponsors, right? I'm sure that's the goal, because then it makes the hobby a lot less,
Yeah.
affordable in a sense, because you get stuff. So like, how did that happen? Like, I see, when I go on your Instagram, I see that all your sponsors, I mean, I don't know how many you have, like at least 6 or 7. So like,
Mhm.
maybe you could tell us, like, how did that all happen? Like, who was your first one?
The first one, my first ever, was Algae Barn. So they've been sponsoring me for 2 years now. And I think the reason why I got them is because the social media manager, that was before, of course, they changed, they changed twice now. Um, I, because I used to make logos for reefers when I started, and what the social media manager, I created his logo. So, and then he kind of like um introduced me to Algae Barn. So that's how I started. But when I was new in reefing, of course you don't have, something big to show to the sponsors, because you're just starting. And at the time I only have like 1,000, 2,000 followers. and and before, what the company do is they would open like affiliate programs. So I would apply to them, and show my tank and that. And then some companies that are also starting at the time was also, looking for influencers, or reefers. So of course, just take them. because I mean it's free, free products, but I get a lot of declines too from companies. Like they would tell me like, oh, you have to improve your content. Of course it hurt, like, okay. So what I did was, okay, you know what, I'll just make my tank beautiful, and that's what I did.
So at first you're saying that you were aggressively approaching them and they were telling you, no, your content's not good enough?
It's not really aggressive because they open it to all the reefers. I know that there's a lot of reefers that started the same time as me, that they would actually post like, we're looking for we're opening this affiliate programs, and what you do is just apply, blah 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 blah. So yeah, there's a company who told me my content's not enough.
Oh, no, bet you not. I bet you they wish that you were their sponsor now, or maybe they are your sponsor now.
No. I'm not
Um,
naming names, but
no, no, please, no, no, no. We're not asking you to name names. So that's awesome. So I guess you got Algae Barn, and then I mean, so yeah, I guess because they're looking for affiliates, right? So they're looking for companies to basically promote their product, and then obviously, potentially you could get a revenue stream from that too, right? Like that's how affiliates work.
some of the companies they do. Some they give points, and then you use the points to to shop on their website. But yeah, sometimes they would just send you something on PayPal. Yeah, and just you just get sometimes you just get some items from them. So in exchange of posting.
Nice. Yeah, we're always trying to grow our business, and we're constantly like, trying to reinvent ourselves, and
Mm.
and we definitely thought about affiliates, right? Like that's something that we want to get into, and we just weren't really sure how to go about it, but it's good to know that, how that kind of works, with the points, or how that works. So that's awesome. And who was like your second sponsor that you got?
Second sponsor, I think Aquachar, but they're not active anymore. So it's activated carbon. I still have
Oh,
Aquachar in my system.
nice.
Those charcoal activated carbon. I don't know if
Yeah, I
you've
think,
seen them.
is that the one that like you put in like the bag and stuff too, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I think I don't we don't use that, but I definitely heard of that before.
Mhm.
Nice. And then so like from there, like was it easy to get like the third, fourth, and fifth sponsor, or was it still like kind of a challenge at
Yeah.
first?
From when they will see you, if you post a lot and they see your system, and if they like it, they will just approach you.
So like are
Yeah.
you getting like random messages? Like I have to ask, with
Yeah.
like 30,000 followers, like are people just like blowing up your DMs like, "Hey, Rocky," like I mean like are you just constantly like getting all these crazy messages?
Yeah, I get a lot of messages from random people, and also from companies. And I feel bad sometimes that I have to say no because there's conflict between the sponsors, because I don't want to get in trouble. Because I had in trouble before with between sponsors, but now I'm trying to be careful not to like. But it's kind of difficult because the hobby is so small, and all of the companies are selling the same stuff, even though like for example, I'm getting this light, and then the other company sponsors me with, for example, a skimmer, but then this light company is also making a skimmer, and then the skimmer sponsor is getting mad, blah blah blah. But yeah, it's complicated.
That's a good point, actually. I mean, I was going to bring up a point where it's like, if GHL is sponsoring you, you're not going to then have like another doser company sponsor you, because that wouldn't make any sense. But if
Mhm.
all of a sudden, like, you're sponsored by Deltec, which is a skimmer
Mhm.
company, and then all of a sudden, like, GHL starts making skimmers now, well, it's like, well, is that going to be a conflict?
Yeah, it's complicated, but yeah, yeah. Like I said, it's a very small community, so and a lot of companies, selling the same stuff. So I don't know, they'll figure it out.
But at this point,
as
just
as
let that
as
figure.
Yeah, as long as, I mean, as long as you don't get free lights from this company, and then suddenly you get another free light from another company. I think that's not good. But yeah, as long as they're different, items, I think it's fine. But
Yeah.
some companies would, react.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, I know that, they would get upset, definitely. So talking about, and then like with these sponsors, like how do you make them happy? Like, what are they expecting? I know a lot of people are probably wondering, like, what is in terms of yourself, like, what do you
Mhm.
feel obligated that you have to do? Like, how does that all work?
Well, you will need to. They won't specifically ask you like what to do. Well, some companies do, but they they just want you to keep posting their items, and as a influencer, you just have to like also think what to do, like for example unboxing, installing, and just random reel and stuff. Yeah. And some companies, they would actually reach out to you. Oh, we're loving this, blah, blah, blah. You're doing a great job. Some companies, you don't hear anything, but of course, you just keep on doing it.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe we'll have to talk to you about the SBB sponsorship. I don't know
Yes.
how that would work though with the coral stuff, but no, we're definitely looking for, affiliates and to kind of get involved that way. So yeah, it definitely makes sense. I saw that in your post also, like in when you make a new post, in the actual comments, I think you also have like coupons. So I think for anyone
Mm.
watching, for anybody watching this live stream, especially my followers, if you're not following Rocky, you definitely want to click on his profile picture and you want to follow him because I see that he has a lot of coupons and discount codes. Like I think on Algae Barn, I saw that he was running a discount code for their products. So if you are getting those products and you want a discount code, it'll be a great way to follow Rocky and get those codes, right? Are they in every single one of your posts now?
Yeah. Yeah, they're all there.
Okay, so yeah, they can basically see them all there. And do those codes like do they change every once in a while or do they basically like stay the same? Like do people have to follow you and actually get like the newest code that comes out?
No, they're the same. They don't change. Yeah, they don't change.
They don't change. Okay. And I mean, this is a question that I have. You don't have to answer this, but like, do they have like analytics on like how much business you're sending them? Like, is there like a portal that like you could log into and see like, okay, 15 people used my code, so I know like how much traffic I sent them?
There are companies that has like affiliate website, and then you would also see like for example the algae barn. Every time someone uses my code, I get points, and I would see that every month. So, oh, okay, so this is what I got this month. And sometimes they would like tell you, you're one of our premium influencers, blah blah blah. Yeah, so some of them they will reach out.
Nice, nice. So like, I mean, not to pry, but like, are like 10 or 15 people using the code every month, or is it more? Is it less? Like, I don't know if that's like secret information. I'm just wondering like how much
Uh,
like
uh,
flow is going.
you know what? I'm not sure. I don't really track it, to be honest, because it's not that much. It's not that much. Plus, we there's a lot of influencers too, so you're also like, competing against the coupon codes,
Really?
and not just the coupon codes, but also, for example, Algae Barn. There's also Algae Barn is also competing with other, um, companies too. So
Like other companies that make like phytoplankton and all that, right?
yes, correct. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think affiliate marketing is really like the way to go because, a company like Algae Barn, if they have like 100 influencers basically promoting their stuff, then it's like they have like 100 salespeople and it's like they just orders just coming through the door. It's like super leverage, if they can do that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I love to see the journey and I love to see like where it's all going. Like, do you have goals like in terms of, like your followers? Like, do you say like, oh, I want to get to 100,000, or is it not really like something that you're really motivated that way?
No, not really. I don't have a target. I mean, I started the Instagram. I know it sounds selfish, but I started it for myself because at the time there's no reels when I started, and when I started the hobby, I only thought about creating an Instagram because I'm also into photography. So I was at the time I don't have an Instagram, and I like taking pictures of the corals, macro shots, and I was like, oh, these are actually look nice. Why should I make an Instagram and just post it there? For other people to see. So that's how it started, and since then, I enjoyed, of course, getting a lot of followers. Who doesn't like getting attention, praising you with, your system. But yeah, I don't have any target. I'm just enjoying the steps, the journey.
I heard in your last interview that one thing that you did that really helped promote your Instagram is that you were looking.
We hope you're enjoying this episode. Thank you for listening to SBB Coral Reef Keeping Secrets Podcast. If you like the content, all we ask is for you to please share with your friends and comment, as that's the only way we can spread the word and grow this channel.
At other people's reels, like maybe someone who's not, in the reefing industry, and you saw that they did a reel a certain way, or, this might sound cheesy, but you have a lot of your setup at home is really, really nice. Like the way that you have lights, and even right now, people are commenting, they're saying, oh, where'd you get the Spider-Man? Like that, all that stuff helps, right? Like it really helps build your brand and your presence.
Yeah. If you're really you want to grow your channel or your Instagram, you have to see what's out there too. You have to see what other people is doing, even outside the hobby, and watch reels and maybe apply it to your reel too, or your channel. Because you see these reels, because there's also other influencers there that is being sponsored, and you see they're creating these reels with the products, and you can copy that too. You can get an idea and apply that to your sponsored items.
I'm not gonna lie. Like one thing that attracted me to your page, even before, I heard you on Reef Bomb, I was looking at your page and I was like, man, his stuff is really innovative. Again, with the Spider-Man and with the lighting, and I was like, this is legit. I'm like, this is what I want my setup to be like, So I know that stuff definitely does help. And so did you notice once you kind of, upped your game in that way, did you start getting more followers?
Oh yeah, definitely. With the lights. Spider-Man, I'm using the Spider-Man a lot. I get a lot of followers from him. So yeah, definitely it helps.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's definitely super original too. I love that stuff. So for everyone who doesn't know, maybe you could give us a little history of your journey. I know you started in keeping fish when you were 8 years old, right?
Yes, when we were starting very little, we always say we started at 8, but that's for me. I started at 8, I guess. But yeah, I think I started at 8 years old with freshwater, and I think it started with my late father taking us to the river. We would catch fish, and then when we get home, we would play with the fish before we eat them. So I think I started with that. And yeah, I started with just smallies, guppies, and then it went to koi pond, and then 4 years ago the reef tanks. And I started not even the corals. I just want a saltwater fish at the time, and then I was like, oh, there's actually a lot of reef tanks like corals. So yeah.
I just looked at your background. Does the Spider-Man blink his eyes?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, really? It's weird because somebody asked that, and I was like, wait, what? And then I just literally looked in the background of you, and he just did it again.
It blinks, yeah.
Oh, it does. Okay. Okay. I was like, wait a second. This isn't Halloween anymore. Um,
Yeah, it
yeah,
does.
that's crazy. That's awesome though. Yeah, it just blinked again. That's crazy. So yeah, so 4 years, 4 years. I mean, you've gone like really fast, in 4 years, with five different tanks. Like, where do you see yourself in another 4 years or 10 years? Like, do you have like a goal or a vision? I mean, I know it's a hobby that has,
Mm,
really
mm.
turned into something, with a huge following and sponsors. So I'm wondering like what's next for Rocky?
You know what? I think I already um got the goal. My goal. My goal last year was, so last year I actually wanted, and I felt like very low, and I wanted to take down my tanks. And I said, my tank, my big tank, and I said, you know what? All this work, all this, money that I spent on the tank, I have to be on the magazine first before I take down the tank. And this year I got into a couple magazines, so I think I'm already happy.
So you're done? You're gonna take your tank down now?
No, no, I'm still keeping my tank. I'm enjoying it.
I know, I'm just joking.
But yeah, I think I would definitely, because of course I started the hobby for myself, because I enjoy it. I'm into fish, I'm into aquariums, and I think I come to a point where I also I want to get back to the community or to the hobby. I think that would be my next goal, to help other people. I mean, I've already been helping people, but like contributing to the like marine restoration, coral restoration, all that.
So you'd say basically the next goal is to really give back to the hobby, right? In a sense.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's my next goal.
So have you started to kind of prepare like a plan for that, or maybe reaching out to some aquariums? Like, have you started that down that path yet?
I, Actually, Biota Aquariums reach out to me and say, they would need help, but right now it's just that the time is too, it's the time. Like I have my day job, my family and my five tanks. So right now it's not possible, but we'll see. It's all about time management. But it's definitely something that I want to do in the future.
And I heard that you travel a lot too, right?
Yes, I do travel work and also, pleasure too.
Yeah, yeah. And then I guess when you travel, I think what you said before too is like if you're gone for like a couple days, it's fine. The tanks pretty much run themselves.
Yeah.
But if it's over like a week, then you need to kind of bring somebody in.
Yeah. Yeah. If it's like 4 days, it's fine. But if it's like more than that, I need someone to like feed the fish and check the dosing containers, make sure they're fine. But
Yeah, awesome.
with the dosing, of course, I have the GHL, the controller. I can just check it from my phone.
Yeah, those dosers are awesome. I mean, we've been using GHL dosers for the last three
Mhm.
years, and I just can't speak enough good things about them. I mean, I hear like so many horror stories that people buy like these cheap dosers, and the doser just completely malfunctions and it like
Yeah,
nukes their tank.
yeah,
Like I hear that all the time.
and it happens when you're away.
Exactly. So let me ask you a quick question. Is your phone like, are you on a computer or a cell phone right now?
It is a cell phone.
Okay, because a couple people are just asking like, hey, can you like show us your tanks real quick? I don't know
Oh,
if you could like maybe, yeah,
yeah, of
we'd love to maybe
course.
for like 5 minutes just kind of go around and kind of show everyone what you got going on over there.
Yeah, definitely. Let me start with. Oops, sorry. I have a filter.
Awesome.
So my anemone tank, I don't know, because my lights go off like in 20 minutes, so it's like ramping down now. So that's my anemone tank. It's an eShops 11 gallon right there. And then this is my new one that I've been like setting up. It's a macro algae tank. It's a drop down. It's also eShops there. Um, and this one, it's 4.8 gallons, also eShops. I love
Oh
eShops.
wow, tiny. The tank actually looks a lot bigger than it I guess it really is.
Yeah, it's small. It's only 4.8 gallon. I mean, including the back chamber. Yeah, right there. And Spider-Man.
Wait, wait, we got to see him blink.
what's up?
Oh,
It
wow.
actually talks.
Oh,
It talks.
that's awesome. I love that thing.
Yeah. And then, of course, my big tank right there. I don't know if you guys can see.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said,
Oh, wow.
it's ramping down now. So plus, that's why it's kind of dark. I love the lights that I got sponsored. I'm so lucky.
And who's your light sponsor?
The Lua. I love their lights. Oh, they're right there. I still have to clean the glass because I was away for like 2 days, 3 days. Right there. The back, I need to clean because there's so many, I don't know what happened. There's so many like frag racks and I hate frag racks. So this side I haven't really cleaned and I'm still working on it. I'm not sure what happened with there you go. So there's so many frag racks. So that's why I don't really like show this side because with all the frag racks, it's making me lazy to clean. But this is my next task to do. And then this is my 20-gallon tank. I have it actually set up for 2 years now. It used to be like I'm just dumping corals here that I don't like. And recently I just give it some love. So because I want to put some more clownfish. Yeah. So those are my tanks. Only 5.
Nice. Yeah, those look amazing. And how about and so all the lights, obviously it's all from the same sponsor, right? For all 5 tanks?
No, actually actually a Viper Spectra, so it's not sponsored obviously. And then my AI LEDs, they're not sponsored, just the Lua ones or Ilumagic.
For the main display, right?
Yeah, the main display, all of them, yeah, are sponsored.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I love the setup there. I mean, that looks amazing. I think like, we're all coral addicts, we're all aquarium addicts, and I'm wondering like, do you have any future plans for any new systems, or are you just like completely out of room at this point?
Actually, I'm getting a frag tank and I'm still waiting for it. It's I think 70-gallon, 90-gallon frag tank. So I asked a company if they can give me a discount because I actually don't like asking free stuff, to be honest with you, even though I have so many sponsors. I actually don't like asking, companies to send me stuff, free stuff. So, but of course I need a frag tank. So I asked a company and I said, do you guys give out discounts? And they told me, you know what, we're so honored that you actually, you want our tanks or frag tank, and we are happy that you don't ask for a free tank, but you ask for a discount. So they're actually giving it for me for free. So
Oh, wow.
I'm so happy. Yeah, I'm so happy. I'm still waiting for it. So let's see.
Like, where are you gonna put? I mean, it seems like you're out of space over there. Like, do you know where it's gonna go yet?
Oh yeah, I already, I already planned it.
Is that like,
Where to put it.
can you show us that space, or is that like a secret location that like you can't reveal that yet?
Actually, it's gonna go to where the last tank that I showed. Plus, I'm also
Okay, so
expanding. I'm also expanding my fish tank. We kind of have like a porch, and then we're gonna make it like my fish tank too. My fish room.
so you have a whole separate room that you can put stuff in.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I'm gonna have you on like next year and 2 years, and you're literally gonna have like a whole other room like built out with like 4 or 5 different tanks.
Yeah. There's gonna be a new room, a fish room.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm really excited then to follow you on Instagram and see the journey for all the new builds that you have coming up.
Yeah. It's gonna be exciting. It's gonna take a lot of work though, but it's gonna be exciting.
Awesome. So yeah, I guess at this point, we're kind of running at that 45-minute mark. I know a lot of people have a lot of questions for Rocky. We didn't ignore your questions. We just wanted to wait till the end to ask questions. So now is your time to ask questions. Let's see what questions come in. and I'm sure that people are starting to think of questions right now, because I know there was a bunch before. I think someone had a question before. Let's see. I think someone had a question before about like what you feed your SPS,
Mm,
or like what makes them grow and color
mm.
up so fast. So if you want to maybe start with that question while we're waiting for more to come in.
Yeah, definitely. You know what? Before I hear, because I'm still, in the hobby for only 4 years, and they said I read before that if you run high nutrients, you don't have to feed your corals, and I actually tried that, and my corals stopped. I mean, or slowing down with the growth, and I started, feeding again, and they actually like you feeding them. So that's what I learned. Like, even though you have high nutrients, you actually have to still feed them. So every time I feed, I make two containers for my SPS and for my soft corals. For my SPS, I use the Reef Blizzard S, the Brightwell Reef Blizzard S, and then I mix it with a couple pinch of reefroids, because for some reason corals react fast to reefroids. So I put a little bit of reefroids, and then some Ocean Magic, and the Aquaforest Coral Boost, I think. So I mix them, and that's what I feed the SPS. For the soft corals, I use the Brightwell Reef Blizzard O, and a couple pinch of reefroids, the Aquaforest growth, coral growth or coral boost, I forgot, and I mix it with Ocean Magic. So
Yeah,
that's
what I
what I
think
feed them.
actually. Okay, yeah, I think yeah, I heard also when one of your other talks that like you literally said
Mm,
that like if you don't feed them, they don't grow. So
yeah, I mean
that's really good to
they'll
hear.
do fine, but they'll still grow, but very slow. But if you actually feed them, they grow faster,
So
and the
someone asked,
colors are better.
and the color, oh, the colors are better too, right?
Yeah.
Right. So someone asked a question basically on top of that question, which is how much phytoplankton do you dose and how often?
In general, I would dose like nine 90 ml a day for the big tank.
90 mLs
90
a day.
ml. Yeah, I think so. 90 ml. Yeah.
That's a pretty decent amount actually. And do you ever see like any algae, or dinos from any of that
No.
stuff? That's
No.
really awesome. Yeah. Um, all right. So how much? And then one person quickly asked. I mean, we could maybe touch on this one, but any tips on growing your brand?
Any tips on growing your brand? Just be very active. Post every day. If you can do like twice a day, do it. But because I also notice, like, if I don't post every day, it will slow down. So you gotta post every day, and you gotta also engage, especially if you're just starting. You have to engage with other accounts too. You have to you have to, share their content too on your story, because eventually they will also reshare it as a thank you. So their followers will see it, and they will see your account, and they will eventually follow you. But yeah, definitely post every day.
Yeah, I noticed that too, actually. Like we try to post like 2 or 3 times per day, and the
Yeah,
moment we stop posting, it literally follows
yeah,
off. I think
yeah.
like for us right now, we're getting between like 30 and 50 followers per day, and
Nice.
literally, if we stop right away, it drops to like 10. It,
Yeah.
it could even go into the negative because, like you said, like we're losing
Mhm.
followers every day also.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It's like a
The
job
next
now too.
It is. It really is. Like I'm telling you, like for me, I mean, at least with my like,
Mm.
I can't turn it off though. So it's like it's a job, but it's like it needs to get done.
Yeah.
So every morning we just do it. So when do you do your posting? Do you have like a set time schedule for that or?
I would do like 8 a.m. the first post, and then the second post would be like around noonish, and then if I was able to make more videos or prior, because I make videos like, you know, the day before. If I make more videos, and I would post another one like around 5 p.m. Eastern time. If not, I would just do 8 a.m. and then to like 12 noon.
Got it. So you try to post different times during the day
Yeah.
to keep it going.
You will also see, which countries your followers are from, the insights, or you will see it, your professional dashboard, and you will have to see, okay, this country has this, um, time, and you have to see your insights.
Yeah, that makes sense. One tip I heard too is, if you look at your insights, if it says that like all, your main people are following you at like 3 p.m., you want to post like 90 minutes before your peak traffic followers.
Yes. Yeah.
So another question just came in from Burnt Squirrel, and they ask, does Rocky clean his sand bed often?
I would just like disturb it and then have the filter take care of it. That's what I do. But not that often. Maybe once a week.
Once a week. Okay, so yeah, you
Yeah.
basically do it once a week.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on to the next question. I'm just trying to go through here.
What,
So one
what's your power
person,
bill?
yeah, go ahead.
Well, actually, I just checked the bill for last month. It was 600.
600. Wow.
Yeah, not that bad.
That's not terrible. Then yeah, one person asked, and I'm actually interested in this question also. He says, or she
Mhm.
says, sorry, I don't know who asked this, but the question was, do you have any mentors and do you have any tanks that inspire you?
I had so many. There's so many great tanks out there. I love Tusi's tank. He's my friend. Um, of course, who doesn't inspire Polo Reef? They're a big inspiration. There's just so many tanks out there on Instagram and even on Facebook, you know. But those two, I always like. I love seeing their tanks.
Yeah,
And mentors,
Tusi. Mhm.
mentors. I always talk to and Andrew or Andre. Sorry, Andre, the Reef Moonshiners.
Yeah, Andre's been really good. I always bounce a lot of ideas back and forth with Andre.
Yeah, yeah. He knows he knows a lot of stuff.
Yep. So one other question from Paul Meadow Coral Co. Any tips for acros losing color but still growing?
Okay, so I can only talk about my system. So if I see the SPS losing corals or colors, for me it means first it's always the lighting, the par they're getting at, so you gotta like see where it's located, and then move it to a better par. Maybe it needs more par, and also flow. So those two, the par, the light, and the flow. So those two, for me, I can only talk about me. So if those are good, then that's when you um, check the trace element side.
That makes sense. Yeah, in terms of, my comment to that question, I think that sometimes when acros grow very, very fast, they don't necessarily have color because they're growing so fast that like the growth white tip is almost like a whitish palish. So like as the coral
Mhm.
grows and settles in, like kind of like the lower parts will color up. So I don't know, maybe your if your corals really are growing fast, maybe they're just growing. They're in growth mode, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. No, I was gonna say that it's definitely a tough question. Let me see if there's any other questions. Oh, okay, this is a good one. What this is from CJS Aquariums. What corals have you found that you can't keep, and what's your biggest challenge coral wise?
Oh, I would say the most difficult for me is the gonies. Like, I mean, I can like grow them, but as soon as I move them, they're not happy. So I'm like, so now every time I got a goni and they're happy, I don't move them anymore. So I would say goni is like the most like, you know, finicky.
Did you I think we sent you some Ghanis. Are those
Yeah,
doing okay, or are those?
a couple ones. Yeah, they're still in the frag rack because I'm so scared to move them. They're doing fine.
I think for Ghanis, I mean, just for us, like we have a tank dedicated just to Ghanis, and the PO4 in that tank is like zero point 0.4. So I don't know if they
Oh,
like
okay.
really high
Hmm.
PO4. I mean, it's tough because like acros, like I don't necessarily think they like zero point 0.4 PO4,
Yeah.
but the Ghanis in that tank are just really doing well. So
Hmm.
we just leave it there, and we just kind of keep it like that. Let me see if there's any other
Nice.
questions. I think we have time for like one more question. Time has literally just flown by. Let's see. What brand you use for testing water? I don't know, like what are your test kits, I guess?
Um, I would say for my alkalinity, the GHL, the KH Director, and then well, I used to have Trident before they sponsored me. They don't test calcium and magnesium, so now I'm using the HANA testers for those, and then the rest I do the ICP.
So here's the last question. And then, again, like an hour's literally just flown by. The last question is, do you feel, this is from Pre-Dom World, do you feel that water changes can provide enough trace elements for your reef tank?
Okay, I so every time like I get questions like, do I have to do reef moonshiners, and not do water change? To me, it depends on your system. What are you keeping? It depends on your corals. And for me, if you don't have that much SPS, just do water change because reef moonshiners is actually kind of expensive, especially the initial purchase. So I would suggest just do water change. Of course, there's a lot of systems there that do water change, and their corals are thriving. So yeah, definitely you can. But what I would recommend is for you to actually familiarize or to know your salt, to know what exactly you're putting into your system. So yeah, definitely.
So maybe get like an ICP on the salt you're using just to kind of
Yeah,
see what it is.
like I asked myself, if okay, what if I stop doing reef moonshiners and just do water change? So what I would do is I would definitely send an ICP test of the new salt water mix, so I know that salt myself, because it
That makes
only
sense.
tells you like the alkalinity, calcium, magnesium, but it doesn't tell you the trace elements. So I definitely send an ICP.
Yeah, I think that's another big one for us too, is like knowing our salt, like knowing what exactly is going on with our
Yeah.
salt. I mean, for our salt, like even
Mhm.
yeah, we definitely want to know exactly what your salt has in it.
Yeah, definitely.
So that'll pretty much wrap up the questions, guys. And then obviously we're at the end now, so we're gonna give out the gifts for everyone who's been here. So what we're gonna do now is, guys, there's a giveaway right now. We're gonna give away two things. The first thing we're gonna give away is a $150 SBB gift card. So if you win this, you're gonna want to DM me after this call to claim your gift card. And then the second thing is that one of Rocky's sponsors is going to be giving away a coral dip container, which is awesome because when you get new corals coming in, you want to be able to inspect them and dip them in a separate, container. I'm going to basically, guys, I'm going to ask guys and gals, I'm going to ask a question, and whoever gets this question right, whoever answers this question first in its entirety is going to win this gift card. Okay. So the question is, and this is a question that Rocky has told us the answer to, so it's not a trick question. The question is, who is the first sponsor that Rocky got? Who is the first sponsor that Rocky got? If you answer this question first, you will win a $150 gift card. Boom,
Oh,
Algae Barn. So Reef Exotico, you are the winner of that. So you will send me a DM, please, after this,
mhm.
and I will award you your gift card. Now, for the second winner, it's going to be another question that Rocky has answered, and I actually repeated this in the call, so that way it's not really a vague it sounds like a vague question, but the answer is not too vague. So the question is what is Rocky's next goal in his reefing journey? No, help with coral growth. No, that's not what it is. Yes, it is to give back to the community. So I don't know how to pronounce this, but it's Karorizzi. Sorry, Kaoriazzi. You are the winner of the second gift, and you will DM Rocky. Yes.
She's actually my friend, so can we pick up another winner?
We can. All right, let's pick another winner, guys. I'm going to ask another question.
Yeah.
That's okay. All right, I'm going to ask another question, guys. Whoever gets this question right is going to win the second gift, which is a coral dip container from Simplicity Aquatics. The question is how old was Rocky when he first started keeping fish? Yes, 8 years old. You got it. So the winner is Angelia. I'm horrible with names. Angelius 1990. So you will DM Rocky, and you have to follow Simplicity Aquatics. So don't forget to follow them before you message Rocky. So that's pretty much it for the call, guys. Rocky, I just have one question for you before we jump off this call. And the question is, you've done so much in 4 years. You've gotten 5 systems. You have over 30,000 followers. You have over 7 or 8 sponsors. My question is for you is it worth it? Is it worth it? Everything you had to go through, everything you had to challenge to get to this point, has it been worth it?
Yeah, it's worth it. I'm happy. Like I'm happy. That's all that matters. I'm happy. So I think it's worth it. As long as I'm happy, it's worth it.
Because I know it's a lot of work. That's why I asked that question.
Yeah, I actually enjoy it. Yeah, I enjoy doing the reels, the editing, and of course, I love the hobby. I love the tanks. So yeah, it's all worth it. Yeah,
Awesome.
it's paying
All right,
off.
Rocky, man, it's paying off.
Yes.
Good. No, that was an awesome call. I mean, the time just flew by. We would love to have you on again in the future, especially because you're still progressing. You have a whole nother room you mentioned about building stuff. So I really want to thank you so much for your time tonight.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, and thank you guys for joining.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. And please, guys, follow Rocky, follow his journey. All you got to do is just click the little hyperlink above his picture, and then you guys can follow him there. You guys can check out his posts. He has a lot of coupons for all of his sponsors. So, it's definitely worth checking him out. So thank you guys so much for joining, and we'll see you guys on the next show.
Thank you, guys.
All right. See you later, Rocky.
Thank you.
Bye.
We hope you're enjoying this episode. Thank you for listening to SBB Coral Reef Keeping Secrets Podcast. If you like the content, all we ask is for you to please share with your friends and comment, as that's the only way we can spread the word and grow this channel.